Hey folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised, and, just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everybody.
Who am I, you ask? I was created in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by the waste of a dying world. I was bestowed with an insurmountable task: bring peace after decades of death, persecution, and chaos. I am a grandchild of war, destined to help two camps which hate has fueled for far too long. Surprisingly, I am not alone. Have an odd bunch to make the road a little more bearable. Come with me, to bring hope where there was despair, respect where there was resentment, creativity where there was destruction. I am Pinocchio, and this is my story.
Hey everybody, Dirk Manning here, the writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Brave But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
All right. I guess we have a new ending bit there. That's funny.
No, that wasn't the new ending bit. That was filler till you got ready here.
Oh, shit.
I was running out of trailers. I was well outside of the actual intro.
Well, I'm going to reach over here and plunge my coffee. Hopefully it's not ruined because my dogs are being stupid and I had to run them down to get my coffee going because you don't want me doing this without my coffee. And there we go. Dude, I know it's like the most frou-frou crap in the world, but I recently switched from doing regular brewed coffee to a French press, and I'm telling you what, it makes such a difference. It is so much better.
Man, if you're not using an old school percolator, you ain't drinking coffee.
French
I
press
go to
is
yard sales looking for those things, dude. I want a percolator, an old school 1960s percolator. That was the best coffee, man. None of this shit's complete. No.
I love my little French press. It's frou-frou as hell, but man, it's just like it's grounds, water, squeeze, and it's so good.
Well, you know what I'm talking about when I say the old school percolator. And that coffee is so much better than any coffee maker or anything because the coffee actually brewed. It brewed for a while. It didn't just drip through it and out, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
water and the coffee grounds are in the same thing, brewing together for the whole time. You know,
I think that's what makes this so good. Is like you got your grounds in the bottom. You pour your water in. You let it sit for 4 minutes, and you squeeze it, and it squeezes all the grounds to the bottom.
Yeah,
and it's
the water actually goes. All the water goes through all the grounds. It doesn't just drip through a little hole in the middle. You know what I mean? Those drip coffee makers, the water falls in the middle. It runs down through the middle, and the grounds on the outside hardly affect the water at all.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you waste coffee in those stupid things, man. And people don't realize it, but them old school percolators, you had the little cup at the top, and as the water boiled, it would boil up into the grounds, and all of the water would be affected by the grounds, not just, you know what I mean? Nowadays, I mean, coffee's so weak, it's like you put it on strong, you run it through twice to get it anywhere near what percolator coffee was.
Well, the stuff I'm squeezing through that French press, man, it'll about knock you down, but it's really good.
That's the way I like it, though. Old school.
Well, it's funny though, is it tastes different coming out that way. It's not as bitter. It's really good. So I tossed a screen up here of some stuff I've been working on. Let's pop in here and tab that.
Where's your sidekick at?
I just sent him a link a minute ago. I'm kind of running behind on stuff. I'll zoom in here so y'all can see this stuff up close. I've been doing a lot of these paintings lately. I was doing a bunch of practice paintings, basically trying to nail down some different techniques for a few things, and just self-improvement, because you got to do it. And really digging the stuff that's coming out.
Dude, that right there's badass. I ain't gonna lie.
This was fun. And this piece of artwork has sat around now for a couple months. I would open it up and mess with it, get pissed off with it, set it aside, and go off and do client work or whatever. So like it just became this thing where I just come back to it and back to it and back to it. I mean, originally it didn't even have the vampire in it. It was really just a study of this chick and trying to paint this dress. There's a certain quality I wanted in the dress, and I was trying to nail down techniques for getting that. And I like originally the corset part of her dress was actually black, and I don't know, as I started messing around with it, I got to messing around with the overall composition of it, and I was like, man, it needs somebody right there. And I was like, I don't know, I think I had just seen a trailer or something for the new Nosferatu movie. So I thought, yeah, let's stick old front teeth in there. I just got finished doing some covers for a series it's a 6-issue series, and they wanted a series of covers done that were an homage. Each one is an homage to a classic 80s horror movie or franchise. So that was wild, because trying to adapt somebody else's characters into these roles in these posters was actually hard. It was actually very difficult to look at their work and go, okay, what character best goes in the place of, actually probably the hardest one was doing an homage to Michael Myers. Because think about that for a second. How do you do? Okay, if you're going to try and emulate, first off, if you look back at the posters and the images around the Michael Myers movies, the good ones, the old ones, there's actually not that much going on in them. It's usually a monolithic image. There's barely anything there. At best, you get nothing but him. There's nobody else, so it's not like I could do something of him chasing a character from their book. No, it's like if I wanted it to really nail down something like that. So I ended up taking one of their characters and doing him in a pose, angle, and lighting that are the same as stuff like that, as this one particular Michael poster. But he's got a knife in his hand, and this character's then wearing the jumpsuit. I did some variations on it. And there's one where you have that character, but he has the Michael Myers mask on, and it's like half torn off of his face. I think that's the one I want to go with. So anyway, I've been doing a lot of painting lately, and so, yeah, was messing around with this stuff. So thought I'd pop it up on here.
Cool.
And I've got a couple events coming up. October 26th, I'll be in Owensville, Kentucky. And that one's actually the two events I have coming up are both really special to me because 26th of October, I'll be in Owensville, Kentucky doing a book signing at my hometown's new library. And there's so many layers of what makes that cool for me. So, and then the following month, starting November 14th and running till December 12th, I'll have my first solo gallery showing at the Paducah School of Art and Design. So they've got is it like 1,000 square foot gallery, something like that? It's a good size. It's a really nice gallery. It's one of the nicer galleries I've ever been in, and I get the run of it for basically a month. So that's going to be wild. That should be fun. We're trying our best to organize out the opening night event for that. Try and make that something special. And then, but wait, there's more. Last but certainly not least, September 29th, me and my fiance of 6.5 years are finally tying the knot. So September 29th.
You're getting married?
Yep. I know, right?
It took a minute to register there, dude. I was like,
what the hell am I thinking? Yeah. Me and the girl are hitching up. We're going to be having a little private ceremony with family and a handful of people here on the farm here in Western Kentucky.
Well, congratulations, bro.
Yeah, she's been good to me. She's been good
to both of you, not just you. To both of you.
I'm definitely the one making out of this deal. Honestly, she's I mean, I don't know. Nobody hardly ever sees her in my online stuff. I tend to shelter her from a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But she is the tallest Filipino chick I've ever met.
That must mean she's over 5 foot.
Yeah, well, she's actually I think the tallest chick I've ever been with, which is so weird. I think she's 5'9" or 5'10". She's tall. actually tall. Like tall. She's good height for anybody, but coming out of the Philippines, she's like head and shoulders above everybody else. It's funny.
Well,
And
when you're in
most
the
of
Navy,
her family are tiny, so it's
when you're in the Navy, you meet or see a lot of Filipino people. Okay? And my whole time in San Diego, I don't think I ever saw a Filipino person taller than me, and I'm only 5'8". So,
yeah, she's the tallest chick I've ever been with. But through everything I've been through the last year and a half or so with the stroke and everything, she's really proven herself. So I can't. I'm like, man,
she's already shown she's going to be there for you for life. So
yeah,
you might as well ring that one up.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, well, shit, I guess we got to steal that deal. So,
but see, when we find one like that, we're always the lucky ones.
Oh yeah.
No matter how good we are, when we find one like that, we're always the lucky ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love her family to death. Her mother's still alive, which at our age is rare. But
Yep.
Her mother is 81, I think.
Sounds like her mom's the same as my mom, just nonstop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This little lady, man, little 5 foot tall firecracker, man. She gets just, and it's so cute. I love her mom. I love Connie. Whenever we're around, she's just, just little tiny steps, little feet just buzzing everywhere, and she's too great. And I think I put on 20 pounds every time we visit because she knows we're coming. She starts cooking. So,
right.
And it blows my mind, being with a Filipino girl, Filipino family for so many years now. I'm shocked that there aren't chains and restaurants all over the place of Filipino food.
That is kind of weird, isn't it?
And it, because, dude, Filipino food fucking slaps. That shit is awesome.
I got to show you something since we're talking about moms. Okay. My mom is going to be 86 in 4 days. She got cancer when she was 79, went through chemo, kicked its ass. This is my mom, dude, working out at Tops at 85 years old.
Badass, dude.
Right? She don't got no quit in her. And yes, she was a Marine.
Whew.
She was a Marine. She worked for Minneapolis Police Department, the Phoenix Police Department, Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Mom was a badass, or still is a badass. I'm just saying,
That's pretty cool.
Mom's a badass. So, good genes. I'm just saying.
That's good shit, dude. Very good shit.
Every time I think, oh shit, I'm not gonna live that long, and then I look over at Mom and she just ain't got no stopping her, and it's like, fuck, I'm gonna be alive when I'm 100.
Man, I was glancing at this and I noticed some little things I wanted to tweak. That's one of those things I hate doing full frontal shots of faces because if the symmetry is off, it will piss me off big time.
I always hated doing straight on looks because you couldn't get no shading to define the nose and stuff. If it's straight on, it's unless you got dudes crinkling his nose up or something, there's just nothing there, right?
Well, there is, but it's all in how you deal with it. It really has to deal with the light source and where that light source is coming from.
I mean, where the light is, but I mean, like I said, straight on. You're looking straight on at it, and the flash cube is your light, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
The old school cameras that had the flash cube on them, remember?
Oh yeah. I remember.
That was the light. It came from the camera. It was there it is. And man, I'd go to trace old pictures and stuff, or not trace, but draw while looking at it. And it's damn it, when it's straight on, and the light's from straight on as well, there's just not enough definition to give you what you want. You know,
That's why I like
what you're trying to draw, but it doesn't.
If I'm taking like a serious photo of somebody, if I'm doing a frontal shot with photography, I'm going to make sure that the light from the front is as low as I can get it and still have some illumination. And then I'm going to put a couple of lights on the sides at certain angles that'll cause a rim light, kind of like what I have painted on her face right here.
Yeah.
Because rim light is everything. I sometimes I think in my artwork I might overdo it on the rim light, and then I'm like, no, do not. You're not overdoing it at all on the rim light. Use it. Work the rim. So what I'm looking at here is I wasn't happy with the shape of his jawline. I think it needed a little refinement. So, and since I'm working digital, something I can always do to check it is copy that and paste it. And then if I flip that horizontal, I'll drop that down and just kind of scoot it till the nose matches like that. Like if I wanted it perfectly dead on, which I don't, then I could do that. But here I can start to see a little better view of like how far out that jaw needs to come. And since you can see I've got like a lot of this kind of reddish pink rim light over here, picking up like there's a reddish cast coming from the side. It's on her, it's on his face, it's all this stuff. And I think it helps unify everything. But I want to treat his jaw with some of that. And give myself a couple of little spots here. And if I hold down the Alt key, then I can click out here on my canvas and it'll pick up whatever colors under where I click, which is really handy. So there's that. Let's bring that here. You have to be careful about it. If you actually do straight on symmetry, I think it breaks your image. So I'm really not into doing that, but I just wanted to play around for a second and see how I feel about making his jawline closer to symmetrical on here. Let's see here. Let's shave it back a little bit. And then, that's funny. My dogs are outside. I got the door open to the shop, which I need to turn this AC off. I'll got the door on. It's actually cool down here today. So I'm gonna leave the door open so they can come and go. But I hear them. I hear my little beagle yipping at the door to the house, try to wake my girl up so she'll let him in and feed his little fat ass. Because, you know, he's a beagle, so of course he's fat. Chubby little, I mean, he runs everywhere. He's so energetic, but he's fat. That's chubby little Mr. Pinkman. Let's see here now. Where we go here? Let's turn that brush density up a touch. This has been a fun painting to work on because it's actually kind of rare that I get a chance to just do a piece of artwork for myself that is not tied to a book or some grander project or whatever. And this is just a piece of artwork for the sake of doing it.
It's love art.
Yeah.
Work art. It's love art.
Yeah, that does not happen that much for me. I mean, I don't even mind that. That's actually a good thing. But I'm, you know, that's part of the, in a way, one of the downfalls, I guess, of doing this for a living is it's your job. And there are plenty of times when I don't want to go do my job. Plenty of times I'm like, man, I'd rather watch a movie. Or I'd rather go get coffee somewhere. But, you know, That is what it is. So I just want to tighten some of this up. I feel like he's close. He's very close. Let's see. Let's get some more texture in here. That may actually do a lot of the trick for me. So I have, when I'm doing a painting like this, I'm really big on the use of texture in a digital painting to make it feel more traditional. Like I think that right there, you know, if you didn't know it was digital, you probably wouldn't know. And that's kind of a personal goal. Let's see here now. Oh yeah, I like that much better. And it feels much fuller, much more correct. I may tinker with pushing some shadows there too. And, you know, as per usual, I'm working inside the Clip Studio. And what's funny is, even though I've got a bazillion different brushes in Clip Studio, when I'm painting, I find myself most of the time using, like, I've got about 6 or 7 brushes that are just, that I've tweaked these things out to where the way they work, the way they feel, it's all neat. Most of the time, they are all I really use. There we go. Yeah, it's funny, when I walked away to go to the house and get my coffee started, I actually walked away thinking I was done with this morning. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to talk about on here. So I come back and I sit down and I start looking at it while we're, you know, ramping up and while I'm trying to get my camera working. And I'm like, oh, that's not done yet. I think all art really is kind of like one of my favorite quotes from George Lucas. It said, movies never finished, it's only abandoned. So, like, I don't think there's a single piece of artwork that I've ever done that I couldn't go back and want to make tweaks and changes to it. Very bad about that.
I don't know. I get lost in watching you draw.
Mm.
Because I'm trying to focus in on where your cursor is and what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of get lost in what you're doing. Because I don't know shit about any of this stuff, you know.
Oh. Yeah, this is actually a lot of fun for me right now. This is something I really enjoy. And I didn't even do that much of it, you know, 2 years ago. Like, because before I had the stroke, I was, most of my income came from doing 3D modeling and animation for people.
Right.
And I don't quite know why it took something like that to make me just throw down the gauntlet on doing this, but I did. And like now 100% of my income is from doing pages and covers for comics. It just is like, oh, it's like, okay, I'm doing this now. Oh, well, crap, I guess I am doing this now. Okay. But
welcome to the jungle things.
Yeah, it's just kind of, it's been weird, man. But it's really cool. Very cool. I'm very happy about it. And I guess, you know, sometimes I kind of wonder about it, but then I think back and it makes sense that, like, the work that I do in these spaces in comics and just in comics, has become so much better, I think, in this past year and a half, just because of the volume of it that I've been doing. So it's like, it's like when you're spending, 8 to 10 hours a day and this is all you're doing, if it isn't getting better, something's wrong. So, yeah, I'm digging that. I absolutely love painting in this program. It is so hypnotizing for me to do it. Do some little refinements on her hair. I'm seriously tempted to change her eye color to a green, because I've got a couple other kind of vampire chick paintings now that have a dark-haired girl with green eyes in it. If I ain't careful, it's going to turn into a damn character and become something. Let's check the brush size. Hold down Control and Alt. Click drag while you're holding those, and you can change your brush size. And then, like, to make a change like that, see, I just changed that eye to green. I don't know how well it's showing up on the stream. See, this one over here is brown. I set my I'm just using my pencil tool, which is kind of a misnomer because I've got that pencil tool set up where I can do all kinds of wild stuff with it. But I set my blending mode to color, and it'll basically try to shift the color of what you're pointing at toward whatever you have selected. So I like her better with them green eyes. I like it much better.
Nobody in the network awake.
Yeah.
It's almost lunchtime, people. Get up. You got work to do.
There we go. Yeah, he's not bothering me as much now that his square or his jaw is kind of squared out a little better like that. I like that a lot better. Let's see here now. What else do I want to do to overwork this fucking piece of artwork? I'm going to add some highlights. This is kind of a little thing to think about, or something, I guess a tip that I'd share with folks is if I want to do highlights, especially at the very end, a lot of times I will have highlights that I save that I don't touch until the very end of a piece. And instead of just grabbing a super bright color or white and using them, the way that I like to choose my highlights is I'll take whatever one of the brightest colors elsewhere in the piece is, like the super bright part of her dress right there, and I'll sample that color, and then that will become something that I use for specific kinds of highlights. And just
I did want to do a little special little shout out to an upcoming show.
Okay.
Yeah. Monday Madness on September 2nd, on Labor Day, will be the completion of my 60th trip around the sun.
Oh, nice, dude.
And I will be 61 years old on Monday, September 2nd. I'm not going to book guests, but I am going to throw the show open to anybody who wants to come out and just hang out. You know what I mean?
When was that one again? Is that this coming Monday?
Not this Monday, next month. Labor Day. I was born on Labor Day.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fall on my birthday every year. because it's always the first Monday, right?
Oh yeah.
First Monday of September, right? So, I don't know, it's every 6-7 years or something. It falls on Labor Day every 7 years or something. So this is one of them years where it falls on Labor Day.
That's cool.
I have a whole bunch of friends that were born in the first few days of September, right? And every year somebody's falling on Labor Day. So we used to just have a big Labor Day birthday bash for all of us.
That sounds like fun.
And just have a big old party because there was so many of us. It was like there's no way we were going to have a party every day for everybody's birthdays and shit.
Well, there is a way, but it might involve chemical assistance.
Yeah, missing a lot of work or something. Yeah, it was like but we used to have what we called the Virgo party. And it was just all the early September, I guess late August and early September birthdays would all hang out. Have a big old bash over at the hell. Who the hell was that? It was Chubby Boy's brother. They were both big boys, but dude had a big old backyard, with the pool and a cabana, and he'd hire a band or a DJ and some kind of music. And every year we'd have a bash at that dude's place. It was pretty cool.
Nice. Brush a little bit bigger.
I might even have a picture from that era. Let me see if I can find a picture. Oh, well, there's one. But you can't really see the yard or anything else, but this is me at a Virgo party. I know for a fact. There you go. There's back in the day, Les.
Nice.
I don't know. I was probably 30, 35 there,
I'd say getting older sucks, but I guess the alternative's not getting older at all, and that's not cool. So,
well, I look back at stuff like that and it cracks me up because back in the day, I was a younger man then.
And now you're in the old farts club.
Oh, here's another one. You'll love this. I'd say I was probably 30 in this picture. Yeah.
Oh, wow, man. That's wild. I remember when I had hair.
Dude, 30 years ago. It's pretty funny.
Here we go. Decided to tighten up and add some little stuff in here.
Oh, there's the picture I was looking for. That's all the brothers and me sitting behind them going, look at these crazy fucks. Those guys are all brothers. And they're kicking it in the pool. And the guy in the middle, right below me, that's the dude who owns the house. Can't remember his fucking name. It's pissing me off. But yeah, those guys were all cool as hell. I didn't have any friends that weren't bigger than me pretty much my whole life. I don't know why, but it's like everybody was always bigger than me.
You're not really a big guy, though. So.
No, I'm not. But I'm not a little guy either. I can go 180 if I want to. But I don't want to. I like to be able to move.
Dude, I ain't seen 180 since the 5th grade. No joke. 5th grade.
Boot camp.
5th grade, I weighed 180 pounds. 6th grade, I was 220.
Oh, what's up, Dustin? Good morning, my friend.
Always.
I was a skinny little dude. Like in grade school, I was the tall, skinny kid. But then in junior high and high school, everybody else got bigger than me, and I was just the same size. Then I was just a regular skinny kid, you know.
I was always the tank. just full stop. I was always the tank.
It was cool up to 5th, 6th grade. I was one of the bigger kids, but then everybody else kept getting bigger and I didn't. I just stopped growing. My mom's like 5 foot. My dad's like 6'3" or 6'4". So I was right in the middle, about 5'8". You know, I was just right in the middle between them.
See, I was adopted, and my dad was maybe 5'4", and he was a small man. So, like, by the time I was 12 years old, I was wearing his clothes. And by the time I was 15, I stood probably, at 15, I had hit, I think, 5'10", 5'11". So I was 6-7 inches taller than him at 15. That was always.
Yeah. I would drown in my dad's clothes.
Yeah.
He was so much bigger than me, dude. Trying to find a picture of us together. I don't have many because I didn't meet him until very late in life, and then he passed away right away after I met him. So I have a lot of pictures of him, but I have one of us standing together. If I can find it, I'll show it to you.
Pardon me. Oof. Trying to decide if I want to make any little lighting changes here close to the end of this. Sometimes I will come in at the end because, you know, we're working digital. I might as well use the tools that I have. And I'll come in at the end sometimes and use different adjustment layers to tweak things. And whether I keep it or not, I'm going to pull up an adjustment layer here and show kind of one of the things I might do with it. So if in Clip Studio, they're not called adjustment layers because, you know, Adobe owns that, I guess. They call them correction layers. So I'll go into
They're that anal about it that the names of their fucking...
Dude, Adobe is evil. Pure evil. So I'll grab a new correction layer and let's do levels. Now this is going to be funky. It's going to look like crap for a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these little handles on here. I'm going to push those and you're going to see it start to blow out. And like some stuff will get super dark and some stuff will get super light. But what I'll do, you see, it puts 2 little thumbnails here. One, if you double click that, that gives you the controls for the adjustment. And then that one is masking. And by default, it's wide open. But if I hit the delete key, it all goes away so we don't see any of the effect. And then from there, I can just I'll take a pencil and maybe set my hardness on it down real low. Give it a little texture density. And let's make that a big brush. Like, let's go up to like 1,000 on it. Click on that. And let's see. So now, if you watch, as I brush with that, I'm basically just brushing in that effect. And I really like being able to do that because then I can get real control over like some lighting effects and things, but they stay very baked in. Yeah, see how that's bringing those up? That I think of the levels adjustment as working with values, which last week I was talking a lot about values in art and values. If you think about it as there's like hues, which is where it's at on the color spectrum, and value is where it's at on a brightness spectrum. And so the darker something is, if you're looking at it in black and white, the darker it is, further away it's going to seem. And the brighter it is, the more it's going to jump out at you. So if you think about your values and you take an adjustment like this, like right here, if I add with this adjustment just a little more brightness value to the upper side of those fingers, it's going to increase how rounded they feel. It's going to give them a little bit more dimension. And I got to be careful about that. It's easy to overdo it. And then like right here, I think I definitely want some, I want to play with that a little bit. Of course, I got to watch out there. That's going to start to hammer the dark areas of that. So if I want to do this again and just make some things a little lighter so that I'm adjusting those values a bit more. Let's do another correction layer.
No Sam Quentin in the chat.
Let's do a little level correction. There's that. Now, once I've emptied that masking layer, I'll come in here and once I've painted a little bit into that masking layer, I can come make that adjustment a little bit more, and then I can get more of that effect. So this is a really handy way to work. You can do a lot of stuff like this. See how there I'm getting a lot more dimension across his fabrics and things. If I wanted to, yeah, right there, bring out a little bit more of a blowout in the highlight on that metal.
You got fans in the chat, bro.
Oh, who all's out there? I'm not really looking away right now because I'm doing
Dustin
this.
Says he really digs this, and Sam says it's very cool.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Liking it.
Cool. Yeah, I like the way that particular adjustment layer is letting his fingernails take on a little more translucency. I like that a lot. Let's do that right there in his teeth too, just a touch. Yeah, that getting that translucency is such a great thing for me. I think it just brings everything out. Like just that little touch right there, I think made her lips pop a little better too. And I'm gonna bet her hair would benefit from some off this one. So like see right there how I'm making that jump a little more. It's making those waves in the hair stand out just a little bit more. Now it is graying it up a little bit, so I'm going to back away from that and do another correction layer, another levels correction. So this time I'm just looking at this area of her hair, and I'm going to use this correction layer here to kind of look at an overall change that it would make across everything. Now delete out that mask and come in here and I'll start to paint. And I'm going to turn the texture density way up on that so that it gets some, see, I don't know how well you can see it on the stream, but that texture density starts adding some breakup into the strokes. And I really like where that's headed. That way I can get in here and start to bring out the contour of some of these locks of hair. I think I'm just about where I want.
Charles said he'd be here, except he's got Steve Geiger and his family over, and it is complete chaos at his house.
Ah, I figured he probably had something going on. It's all good.
Hi, Steve. If you're watching.
So now here, once I've got these adjustments made like this, I will add some adjustments right here. So it really feels more like that's kind of flowing over her shoulder there. To get that feeling, I need more light in that area. And I think that will do it. So once I have that kind of stuff nailed down with adjustment layers, I will right click and hit merge visible to new layer. And that's going to bake it all into one new layer, so it's straight up paint. So after I've affected all these color changes that way, and I've got that layer for it, sometimes I'll want to go in and do some blend work. And I've got a brush for that I like quite a bit. Just going to return that to its default values. And let's make that brush smaller. And we'll turn the density down on it. And so then I'm just going to come in here and pay attention to the areas that feel more like locks of hair where the bundles would be. And I'm just kind of blending in and back out. And doing it with some texture density turned up, so it has some breakup and doesn't quite feel so completely digital. And I'm also going to turn my overriding canvas texture on with this, because sometimes if you want a natural look, you're going to want something, a layer on top that adds a canvas texture to it, which the way that I like to do that, I'll show you real quick, is I'll come into these assets that you have in Koepp Studio, and you can make your own, but there's this one that I really like, this one texture asset, where it goes, drawing paper, right? So I'll drag one of those out on top of here, and you'll see everything dimmed up. When I drag this, that's going to control the how tight the grain of that paper is. And then I'll come up here and go to where it says overlay texture. And then with that, I can turn up or down basically how that affects it, emulating being, paint or whatever on that surface. It's kind of like thinking about how a surface has little ridges in it that pick up light. And this is basically turning those up or down. And I typically don't want that very high, maybe about 40. And I'll increase the scale on that so it makes the tooth on a little larger. Let's check that up to 60 because this is a higher contrast image. There we go. So I forgot what I had on the layer before. I've got it locked off. I had that at 30. Maybe, which one do I like better? 60, 30. Yeah, I'll keep the one I had. But anyway, that shows you real quickly how I tone out and texture an image, a digital painting, to get it more traditional looking. And
a good place to wrap it up. It is noon.
Oh wow. Man, that hour went by quick. That's funny because for me, the days when we have people on always feel very slow, and the days when I'm just on here yapping while I'm painting or drawing or something go so quick.
Yeah, the ones when you're drawing. But see, I really like the ones when you're drawing because it's not like a lot of people just be drawing. You tell people, I'm going into this thing in this part of the app, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you explain to them, and they can actually learn something from watching you.
Well, I know that, that's a thing that I've always liked in the few artists out there who I found who did that. And of course, coming up, with me, I've been doing digital stuff for as long as digital's been around, which is cool because you've got the experience, but a lot of that time there was nobody around to tell you anything. You had to figure it out. So, it's like I kind of go into these things thinking, if I were coming into this new today, what would benefit me the most? That's
why I wanted you to be part of the network, bro.
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
I knew you were going to bring something educational. You were going to bring. It wasn't just going to be a sit out here and you know, you got to admit some of the shows are just sit out here and talk crap. You know, and it's like, man, you know, it's like,
yeah,
it's nice to, like I said, I get lost just watching you draw. I don't do this. It interests me enough that I'll forget we're doing a show, and I'm just watching you and listening to what you say and what you're doing, right? And then it's like,
well,
oh, crap.
This was fun. This was actually a really fun piece of artwork to do, and I don't know. Maybe sometime, like right now, I'm in this process, and you can see some of them over here. I've got other pieces. Oh, there's some TTs. Sorry.
Oh, I'm not tripping.
So I've got a whole gallery of stuff here that I love these. I think I worked on this one on the stream maybe last week.
Did that one last week, yeah.
So I'm kind of coming up with this gallery of these that, and the digital version, what you see digitally here is not what I consider the finished piece, because I also
go back to it.
well, I'm you know, I've been a traditional, you know, penciler, inker, and painter for my whole adult life, and so there's a weird thing for me these days where, because of having the stroke in my arm, my left arm, that left arm affects a lot more of what I'm capable of doing in the physical media than I like to think about. But there's certain things I still really enjoy, still really like. So like these, what I will do is I will push these paintings up to a certain point where I think I look at them and go, well, that's pretty close to done, maybe like 90%. And then I will send them off to a place that I work with and have them printed on canvases, these big canvases. And then the canvases get shipped to me. And then once I've got that canvas, I'll go in, I'll mount the canvas on an easel, and I'll go in with pens, brushes, pencils, airbrushes, things like that, and finish it out physically. So a lot of the grunt work that it would wear my left arm out to do physically now, I'm doing digitally, and then I'm having it put on the canvas and then sent to me, and then I'm doing the last little stuff to make it special that way.
We got to do a show with you and Doc actually painting.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
You know, both of you doing something actually on a canvas painting. That would be so sweet, because we do have some very excellent fine artists in the madness. And, you know, I mean, I realize that that's not what you guys do now per se for money or whatever, but it'd be really cool to just have a show where you guys actually just paint whatever, you know. Talk to Doc about that.
I'm hoping that when I get enough, when I feel like I've got enough of these together, which kind of like this one right here, you know, there's the not safe for work versions of a lot of this stuff. I'm thinking that once I've got all of them done, and a lot of them have NSFW versions, I'm probably going to try to do an art book.
Yeah, art book would be cool. Somebody's been after me to do a Crom art book too, because I got so many different artist renditions of Crom.
Oh yeah,
probably got 100 different freaking Crom drawings now.
I should do a Crom painting one day, man.
Well, we hope you all do. We hope everybody does a little Crom someday. You know, I do got to cut this one off. I got something to do before Doc's show. I already told him I would be late, but it's a busy day. Wednesday's always a busy day for me. So, you know, y'all tune in about an hour. We'll be back with Doc's Coffee Shop with Doc Tanner. And I don't think they have a guest today, but you know Doc. He's going to bring the entertainment. I'm sure the PMC gave him plenty of material to use today. I can't help it. Oh shit!
Good times, man. Well, thanks, folks, for hanging out and everything. So, let's see. Yeah.
I'll see y'all in a bit. Les, I'll see you next week. And like I said, man, I'm trying to get you and Doc together and schedule something where you guys, when it's convenient for both of you to just come out and do some painting.
Oh, that'd be cool. All right, man. We'll see you folks next week.
Peace, everybody.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they have just, I mean, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands.
Have a good night.